All right, guys, welcome back. It is Pun Factor here. I made a slight change. I was just thinking about some of the matchups that are popular, and I just kind of want to go through my thought process with this current build and maybe get some input before the big event. So I am continuing to run Thalia mainboard alongside Voice of Resurgence. A lot of you might say, that voice needs cut, but I just like it in the mid range. I obviously it's great, versus control, but the mid range game, mid range matchups is kind of where I feel like that card shines. A lot of the times, especially against Green Black Rock and Jund, it comes down to just resources and cards in your hand. And I like how Voice 2-for-1s them. And I also like that Voice kind of blanks an Edict effect from Lily. Everything else is pretty self-explanatory. The four path to exiles, the two Ramanops, the tireless trackers, coursers, knights, companies, etc. I'm still running the two Scuses main. They're also a great board or a great card against um, rock and obviously other graveyard strategies. Most of the time, or a lot of the time, when you're playing against mid range and green black rock, it comes down to who has the scavenging ooze. So yeah, I just like that card. I think Thalia is fantastic. She taxes, just kind of slows decks down enough for us to try to get set up so we can stabilize. I also like that she hurts Storm. I like that she hurts Phoenix. Um, I just kind of dig that. Now, onto my sideboard, the Remorseful Cleric is a new addition, and that's mainly because of the Hogak and a lot of the very aggressive, like, Dredge Vengevine decks running around. Um, Also, Remorseful Cleric's great against, like, Storm, stuff like that. So, just a good card. I play tested it quite a bit prior to recording, and I thought it was fine. I thought it worked out well. It also helps that it's a flyer. So like if we're playing against, I don't know, say humans or whatever, I just take out a freaking voice and add in like Remorseful Cleric, or take out a Skews and add in Remorseful Cleric. So, um, or I guess actually Excavator is what I would trade, just to give a flyer for some more protection. Stony Silence is pretty self-explanatory. Knight of Autumn, I love for the life gain and the utility. I miss this card main board, but I think I don't want to say it's too narrow because it's not, but I needed to make space and I didn't know what else to cut. Um, Engineered explosives are fantastic. I would like to have three, but only really have room for two. Damping spheres. A lot of people are running a couple other things. These are my answers to like Amulet Titan, Tron, and Storm, Phoenix. I like Damping Sphere over some of the other answers. People are running like Eidolon of Rhetoric. I think it's a great card, but I don't know. I've just always liked Sphere, and I also cut like the Aven Mind Sensor that was kind of there for Amulet in favor of an additional Damping Sphere, and it's been fine, you know. Now, the newest addition is Rune Halo. So I was thinking about some of the, popular decks in the format, and I have no answers right now to Titan Shift. And I think Rune Halo might just be my best answer. Naming that on Valakut kind of makes them have some sort of answer to Rune Halo. Because my Knights, I'm not afraid of their prime time. I can crank my Knight up well above a 6/6. So like that's not a big deal. But I just, because I removed surgical extractions from the side, um, I needed a way to be able to mitigate the Valakut triggers, and honestly, like hoping you have a knight, hoping you have and hoping that knight actually untaps and they don't just like flame slash it down or whatever, and then hoping you have a surgical extraction in hand. If you don't have a knight, you need a ghost quarter, and then you have to hope that they actually play a Valakut. Like there were so many things with that like line of defense of like, oh well, I'll just like ghost quarter their Valakut and surgical it out of their deck. There were so many things that just went wrong, and why even? I mean, it's great if it's there, but you can't rely on it being there. I mean, maybe a quarter of the time if you're lucky. you can kind of like get that line off, maybe even less than that. It's probably less than that. Um, that matchup is just really difficult. So I think Ruined Halo is going to help out a lot with that. At least I hope. And it's also like it's a relevant card against Thing in the Ice, naming Awoken Horror. So I think that card's going to give us a lot of play. I really do. So we're going to go ahead and we're just going to jump into another modern queue here. So I'm 1 win away from being able to start a league. Kind of see how we do. Tonight I think we played, what did we play against? We played against Storm, which we won. We played against Blister Burn, which we won. And we played against, what else did we play? Oh, Infect, which we went 1 and 2. It happens. Game 3, I didn't see the cards I needed. I was really hoping for like an Engineer Explosives or something like that, and I just didn't see it, which is fine. It happens. Can't win them all. It's modern. My buddy and I were actually talking. He brought up a good point. If the Hogak deck continues to be like insane, I think Infect's going to get better just because it's fast. Hogak doesn't really interact with you, and that's kind of the other reason why I went with a Remorseful Cleric over like a Leyline or a Torpor or not a Torpor Orb, like a Rest in Peace, even though I know that like hurts us. But I went with Remorseful Cleric over like an enchantment or artifact, just because post-board they bring in enchantment and artifact removal. I mean, they are starting to run like, well, I think they run Abrupt Decay and stuff like that, but I feel like most decks have more of an answer against artifacts and enchantments. So this hand's good. I do like this hand. We have some play against a few different things. So like Control, we can get our voice down. Okay, we're playing against Tron. That we do not have play against in hand. I mean, we have Knight, which is good. We're hoping to find... That's really good for us. They did not have a turn 1 play. That's really good for us. Maybe they just have natural Tron. Skews is not relevant in the matchup. Neither is our life total. So we're going to go ahead and chalk this in, play a Noble. So we hopefully their one payoff card is Wormcoil Engine, just because we have a nice answer to that. Okay, this is good. Okay. Dismember. Sure. Huh. Okay. There's our Excavator. We definitely want that to live. So let's go ahead and... Why don't we play our voice? Just because if they end up blowing it up with something, we'll at least get a token back. And then next turn, I hated seeing Dismember and playing a Knight out for 3, but I feel like we have to. Yeah. So next turn we're going to play our Knight out, and hopefully we'll be able to untap. See what they find here with Stirrings. Power Plant. Okay. Yeah, we might just be a turn too slow. And by we might just be, I mean we are just a turn too slow. The hell? Okay. So they're definitely playing the Karn the Karn thing. So with that in mind, we have to play out night. We have to try to get this. Swing for 2 here. So they'll play Karn. Wonder if they're going to have Tron. So next turn we play Ramanap. We Ghost Quarter a land. Let's see, do they find Tower? No, they don't. Okay, they find an Emrakul though. Okay, so they're... We might have gotten lucky. Although this is like the slowest, weirdest Tron I've ever seen. Wow, did we just like... So let's play Excavator. Let's go to combat here. Let's go ahead and ditch this forest. Let's snag a Ghost Quarter. Let's Ghost Quarter their power plant. Let's replay Ghost Quarter. Let's Ghost Quarter their mine. So 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And they're out of basics. That's really bad for them. I don't think they can come back here from this. They're running 2 basics in the deck. That's a bad idea in general. I would never just run 2 basics in a deck like this. I mean, they have to realize that their opponent's strategy is to like blow up their lands. I mean, I get they're probably running like Crucible of Worlds, but you got to get to 4 mana to drop Karn to get that Crucible. Okay, so they had a basic at least in their hand. Alright, so take out the voices, take out the skews. Let's bring in 3 Stony Silences, 3 Damping Spheres. Night of Autumns are fine. Can take out Thalias. I like keeping Pathin. Yeah, I think Path is fine. Stony Silence and Tracker, kind of horrible. Thalia, though, does kind of screw up their math, doesn't it? Maybe Thalia is a little bit better than Night of Autumn. Actually... drop a tracker. Because, like, if we Thalia on 2, even if they get Tron on 3, they can't drop Karn. I don't think, anyway, can they? This hand's good enough if they don't dismember our noble. We have a Stony Silence. And a Ramanap, which is good. This hand's kind of sketchy, actually. Knight, huh? Ghost Quarter. That's pretty good. Pithy Needle is good. That's for sure. That's going to make them sad. Me dropping a Stony Silence. I don't even know if getting in for one here was like what we should be doing. Because if they go to remove our noble and we're sitting stranded with a bunch of 3-drops, it's probably bad. Oh, and they just conceded. Okay. Sure. Well, that was a game. I have no idea what they were trying to do here. This was a very messed up kind of Tron. I don't really feel like this counts, but yeah, Tron doesn't bother me. We have so much game against Tron. Just kind of have to pick and choose your hands. This wasn't a hand that I like typically would have kept. It was sketchy. You know, the Stony Silence is kind of what got us there. But if they would have removed our noble, like, it would have been really tough. The Pithy Needle I did not expect at all out of the side. But, you know, seeing like the Excavator and Stony Silence was just kind of too enticing, because we could have collected company into like a Knight, and then we just would have been able to do the thing. Obviously barring the Pithy Needle being a card that they had, because I just did not anticipate that. But that was kind of my thought process. It's like, okay, well, you know, if we can just like hit a couple land drops here, we can get to collected company and hopefully get into a Knight, and then we'll have our Excavator, and we can just kind of do the same thing that we did game one. You know, but in retrospect, as soon as I saw that Pithy Needle, I kind of cried. So, hey, good thing that Stony Silence is a card that got there. So, this is Punt Factor. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and stay tuned.